Hey there, this is Matt once again. Welcome back to another video, and this time it is for James. Thank you so much for that. And for those interested in requesting any type of videos, feel free to send it either directly to my PayPal or join my Patreon. Do have a Cash App. Links are down below in the info box. I'll get to it as soon as I can. And this time we're talking about End of Days, which this was great to watch again. So sincerely thank you, James, not only for the request, but for picking this film, because I've been itching to watch this film again, because I thought back then, I still think it now, watch it again, this is Arnold's most underrated film. If I did a top 5 favorite Arnold Schwarzenegger films, this would be on it. Number 1 will be Predator. The Running Man would be up there, Commando would be up there, but I know this would be in the top 5 because it's got a great cast. I think Peter Hyams, I'm a fan of him as a director. 2010, the year we made contact. Stay tuned with John Ritter. Oh God, the train. Narrow Margin with Gene Hackman. The Relic. Time Cop. He's done so many wonderful films. He's in my top 10 favorite directors. I think he's one of the more underrated directors. He has a pretty damn good filmography when you look at it. And I didn't realize this. Apparently, Marcus Nispel was going to direct this. Now, he had not done Texas Chainsaw Massacre, the 2003 film, yet. But apparently, Marcus Nispel, even though he only done commercials, he has some weird-ass thing. We had like over 60 pages of I need this, don't talk to me here, don't talk to me in these times. That got leaked out, and he quit, got fired, however you want to put it. And then, apparently, somehow James Cameron got involved, but he said, hey, why don't you get Peter Hyams? I think Arnold was attached, and then James Cameron said, hey, why don't you get that Peter Hyams guy? Now, I know there was some interview where Arnold said he didn't like how Peter Hyams directed the film, or more so lit the film, because I guess he was lighting it. Peter Hyams likes to light things a lot darker than usual. The Relic, he did that with. And Arnold was going on about, well, Peter, why are you doing it that way? Jimmy Cameron doesn't do it that way. And Peter Hyams pretty much says, I'm like, listen, I'm going to light the way I want it. Okay? I'm not James Cameron. I like the way... pretty much like, let me make the film I want to make, Arnold. And Arnold didn't like that answer, and... whatever. I'll tell you one thing. This is better, in my opinion, than Titanic. And a fuck a little better than Avatar. Sorry, Arnie. But it didn't matter, because regardless, the film came out and it was a box office bomb. It cost $100 million at least. It only made like $66 million in the U.S. Now, I saw this in the theater back in the day. It was a great theater experience. Because I remember explicitly. It's weird how I remember. There's a lot of stuff I don't remember back in the day, but little things will stick out. There was the channel E. I don't know if people remember the channel E for entertainment. Of course, this was 1999. I saw this trailer for it, where on E there'd be a 30-minute platform, 30-minute show called Coming Attractions, where they would show these are the films coming soon. I always try to seek it out. This is before YouTube. This is before you just go on and just find whatever trailer you want, just like that. So I would seek it out and try to watch it. I remember watching the trailer for this in one of those Coming Attractions 30-minute slots. And I'm like, what? Arnold is doing a horror film? And he's going to fight the devil? I was there, man, because I love when action and horror merge. I'm a big fan of action. It's my favorite genre. Horror would be my second favorite genre, but action's number one. And I love Stallone. He's my favorite, but Arnold, I would probably put him in the top 5. Because Stallone and Van Damme are my top 2, but Arnold's in the top 5. Just Predator, The Running Man, Commando, Last Action Hero, Conan the Barbarian, The Terminator, all that stuff. I love Eraser. And I know at this time he had just had heart surgery. And after that, people were not really sure to cast him because what if you're making the film, something happens, and he dies on set, and the insurance, and now you have a film that's not completed because your star died because, they just had heart surgery, so how much strength can you have? Is your heart working good, buddy? Is something else going to happen? Can you strain it so much? Can he do as much as he could before? There's all these questions that a lot of people didn't want to deal with. And even then, he wasn't as much the box office star as he was before. This time, Eraser was a hit. Kinda. Because they came out around 1996, and it cost $100, and it made $100 in the U.S. But if you factor in foreign sales, VHS, home video sales, it would have made a bit of a profit. But it wasn't True Lies. It wasn't Total Recall type of profit. Batman and Robin was a debacle. I liked all the way, but that didn't do the best. Why do I keep thinking there was another film at that time? Anyway, so he had tasted box office failure. Last Action Hero, of course, was a big failure, although I think that's an underrated film, but then True Lies came out, put him a bit back on the map, but then again, Batman and Robin and All the Way didn't do that well, again, his heart stuff, so. And I did, sadly, this bombed, and even films afterward bombed. I think Collateral Damage is a fun one. That bombed. The Sixth Day, I think, is okay. It's decent. I thought, pretty decent movie. That bombed. Terminator 3 maybe made some money because of the name, but it's... I'm not a big fan of the movie, and I just depend on who you ask on whether they like the film or not. Then he went into politics and completely screwed things up. The plot of this is very simple. It's a few days until the millennium. And this is when there were so many movies about the millennium, about what's going to happen when the year 2000 happens. And you saw a decent amount of these kind of supernatural shockers, either 99 or 2000 or this era. So you had Stigmata. You had, what was that one, Winona Ryder? God, I can't remember. There was one with Winona Ryder where it was about Satan, and God, now I'll look it up real quick. Lost Souls, that was in 2000. And what will happen? Y2K, what will happen? Will computers screw up everything? End of the world, all this paranoia. So a lot of people wanted to work that into strips. In this case, a person has been chosen to bear Satan's child. And we see at the beginning her birth and how you have some that want to protect her and some that want to kill her. So even in the priesthood, there's some that we should kill her. It's one soul versus millions and millions. And the others go, no, that's not God's way. How can we protect if we're going to do evil things ourselves? And then you have the devil worshippers. They're doing their ritual where they cut a snake and put it on a baby. Now granted, the director hides it enough so it doesn't feel uncomfortable for the baby, herself. But I mean, it's a hell of a way to start your film. Udo Kier, who's always weird. Anytime I see him, he's weird. Open up a snake, putting blood on it, and putting a little bit of making a baby feed on the blood of a snake. I mean, not every blockbuster mainstream film starts off like that, which I appreciate that. And when I saw it in the theater, I appreciated that. And I love the trailer, the one trailer I saw where it's Guns N' Roses, which is in the film, and it's my favorite film. It's my favorite song on the soundtrack. Oh my God! It's one of my favorite Guns N' Roses songs. Oh my God, dare deny it. I've been taught just to murder and fight it. That chorus just really had a good adrenaline pumping vibe to it that really sold the trailer to me. And it's hard to find that trailer. You can't find that trailer in HD quality. The only time I can find that trailer is on YouTube is someone puts it with other trailers of the film, and it's like 240p quality. I think it's a bit out of sync too. And you can't find that specific trailer with that song anywhere else. You find like the teaser and trailers with more orchestral music or stuff, but anyway. What I liked about it is it took the whole fighting the devil and made it an action blockbuster Arnold movie. I love that being the backdrop of this. Because there's so many movies like Rosemary's Baby and again Stigmata and the much either horror films or psychological horror films or devil possession movies. Those are a dime a dozen, or films like The Exorcist and plenty of films that rip off The Exorcist. But I had to take this whole devil horror thing and make it like guns a-blazing, explosions, Arnold, you're fucking choir boy compared to be our choir boy. Yeah, I love that type of action escapism melded in with this. That was unique. They took a risk. They put that budget behind it, and sadly, it didn't work. It worked for me, but it didn't work obviously for a lot of people because it got a lot of bad reviews. People took a dump on it, and I don't understand it. It's so much fun. The action set pieces are great. They're entertaining. Arnold, I think, does a good job. He plays a different type of character who he still has his Arnie humor, but he's darker character because we find out that his character Jericho, he used to be a cop. Now he works for security. His wife and daughter were murdered, and now he's an alcoholic and he's ready to blow his brains out. A little bit of Martin Ridge style. And it was nice to see Arnold play that different type of character. And the rest of the cast, Kevin Pollak, I thought did a good job as his partner, and they have some fun back and forth dialogue with each other. Gabriel Byrne, who was in Stigmata, I liked him as the guy the unfortunate soul that got picked for the devil to take over his body, and then when he's playing the devil, it's one of my all-time favorite versions of the devil. Because I think Gabriel Byrne just has a nice twinkle in his eye and demeanor. And what they give for his character to do. Where he can be very violent. He's punching holes through people's heads. Like Udo Kier, he punches a hole right through his fucking head. It's really gory too. Like, pew! And you see his fist go right through the damn head and through the back of the head. And there's this poor sucker on a train where he punches a hole right through him. You see the fist right through his chest. Or, from his back to outside his chest. So it did get bloody when it can. I liked his dialogue with Arnold. Listen, I don't do guilt, alright? Okay, that's not me. I don't do guilt. Al Pacino was fun in The Devil's Advocate, but that's more over the top. But I still love that. I think Pacino does a great job. This was not as over the top, so I like both for different reasons. I mentioned that those are two of my favorite portrayals of the devil. So I thought Gabriel Byrne does a great job. Robin Tunney as Christine, who is the person that the devil is trying to get at. And I love that they had the budget and the drive to make it this blockbuster event. From the devil's arrival, okay, the devil could arrive, but let's have manholes exploding, and then because of it, like this car explodes, and all done practically. And again, the action set pieces are just cool to watch. Whether it be Arnold and his partner kicking in the door and shooting at priests who are trying to kill the girl, and you get a bit of a gunfight. Before that, Arnold, who's part of his job is security, having to chase this guy, so his character rappels from a helicopter, and the helicopter is dragging him while he's trying to get at this guy who's running on the rooftop. So that's good stunt work. And it's not too long before another set piece happens where it's like this woman who's a stepmom for Robin Tunney, who's working with the devil. I guess, I don't know, she took some steroids or something, or got a little bit of devil power. I don't know, devil juices in her, I don't know, but she's got claws trying to hit Arnold, and it scratches the wall, and it's shoving the piano at him, and he's almost like, fuck you, and slams the bitch right through the glass that gets right into her throat. It just, throughout the film, is rather entertaining. Like I said, Gabriel Byrne, like when he becomes the devil, he's at this restaurant, and the first thing he does, he finds a woman, kisses her while her husband's there, and pulls her down, caresses her tit. I mean, it's the devil. Why wouldn't he do stuff like that? And then when it comes out, just blows up the place, which is what the devil would do. There's another bit later on where the skateboarder bumps into him who has a Satan Rule shirt, and Gabriel Byrne looks and goes, it's a nice shirt. And the guy's, oh, fuck you, man, you piece of shit. So the kid skateboards off, and Gabriel Byrne whispers, hey, kid. Makes the kid look back and gets hit by a damn truck. And Gabriel Byrne just watches it go, nice shirt. See, it's a devil with personality and evil glee, but not chewing up the scenery either. So I thought he did a really good job. Kevin Pollak, who was in A Few Good Men, well, in the movie A Few Good Men, he's been a lot, The Usual Suspects, I think he was in that. With Gabriel Byrne, I think he was in that as well. But Kevin Pollak has been in a lot of stuff. Let's see, he works well. He's a good comic relief character. Whether it be when they're because what happens is they have a client. The client's being shot at. They chase the person. They wound him. They find it's a priest. They look into why would a priest try to kill someone. They look at the priest's place, and they see a Bible quote and number 27. But I like Kevin Pollak's remark, oh, it ends with a football score. Nice. Because he doesn't quite know what 27 is at that point. Or later on, when Arnold doesn't know to trust him and he wounds Kevin Pollak. You fucking shot me. You're bleeding. Well, of course you did. You shot me. Stop being just a pussy. What are you talking about? It's just a scratch. So yeah, Kevin Pollak, he's a good company for Arnold. Rod Steiger, another great actor. Rest in peace to him. He plays a priest. I thought that was a good choice where he definitely has a stature that you really believe in what he says. So he has to give a bit of the exposition, but again, Rod Steiger has that fire that he's able to deliver that and not be boring or anything. So it was cool to have Rod Steiger in that. And he may be a priest, but when he's like yelling at Arnold and it's another world out there, like he's able to stand up to Arnold and you buy it. You buy his persona, you buy his presence, you buy that he's got a certain stature to him with his voice, that he's able to talk to Arnold this way, and you don't go, really? I was like, oh no, yeah, this seems like a guy you should listen to, Arnold. And Arnold, I think they give him some nice dialogue bits. I like when he's talking to Rod Steiger, and Steiger's like, well, how come you don't have your faith? And Arnold goes, well, me and God had a difference of opinion. I thought my wife and daughter should live. He felt otherwise. I like that bit of dialogue. I like when he's protecting Robin Tunney and they get to the priest, the good priest, and she's like, I should stay here, it feels right. And he's, listen, hey, between the, you know, I think he's talking Rod Steiger, he says something to the fact of, between your faith and my Glock 9mm, I take my Glock. And of course, my favorite being when the devil tries to tempt him, which I like that scene. I think that's a really good scene where the devil wants to know the location of this girl, so he's tempted Arnold with, I can give you back what you lost. So he shows Arnold his wife, his daughter. He's like, no, I can't do that, it's not real. He's like, oh yeah, well, let me show you reality. And then shows the people trying to kill them. And I can see Arnold, I mean, obviously this isn't happening, but Arnold still has the mindset to protect his family, so I could see why he would still try to fight. It's just that, just that, what's the word I'm thinking of? That intent, that, God, there's a word at the top of my head, instinct. This is that instinct to protect his family, even though it's not going to do anything. But I can understand that. And just him being pissed at the devil, like, you want to fuck with me? You think you're so bad, huh? You're a fucking choir boy to me, a choir boy. But I'm laughing because I love that delivery, and I'm buying into the character hook, line, and sinker. Now, I will say throughout the film, yes, once in a while there's a CGI effect that does not hold up the best. For example, one of the things I think of is there's a bit where this weird looking guy is talking to Robin Tunney on the subway train. And that's, was it the subway? It was, I think it was. Well, anyway, he's talking about how he's going to fight you, he's going to fuck you. But then he falls apart into glass, ceramic glass, which the idea is interesting. But when he's crumbling down, it's CGI and it's not the best looking. And I kind of would have preferred if they tried to do practical, where maybe like a piece of his face falls off, then another piece falls off, and or maybe he touches her and then his fingers kind of fall off, or like less is more. Just have little parts of him fall off, and then kind of him collapse, and it'd be like a quick shot. Doing all CG, I just don't think that was the right call. Because it doesn't look the best. Same with when you do see the devil at the end, and there's this big bat-looking thing in the church with Arnold. I don't mind the design, but again, the effects aren't the best. Now, from what I understand, Stan Winston worked and did a practical creature, and you do find photos on the internet where it's like a big creature. I'm sitting there going, why the fuck is that not in the movie? But I'm guessing they said, well, we wanted to make it even bigger, so they just put CG over. But you don't get to see it a whole lot. Maybe that's why I could deal with it, because you don't see it a whole lot, but you see a little up close of his face, but you tell that's CG too, and they just wash it over with CGI. I mean, why would he take Stan Winston's work and wash over with CG? That just, I mean, it's a little thing, because it's not on screen a whole lot, but I think it would have been nice to see that practical creature effect. I think that would have worked better, because it's something tangible. Like, there should have been a bit where it's like right in front of Arnold's face, like looking down, like Arnold's here, and it looking down at him, and that having that one shot where it kind of leans into him. I think that really could have worked very well, because it's something tangible and physical, and So there are nitpicks I have with the film. Robert Tunney, she's fine. But I would say she's fine. Like, I don't dislike her or anything. I mean, I could take her or leave her is what I'm getting at. Do I think maybe there would have been actors with maybe a bit more oomph to them? Sure, but other than her being scared and kind of being more scared, she didn't have a whole lot to do. So I don't know, maybe that was the writing, or it just, she wasn't the most interesting character. She was kind of just the more of the prop for Arnold to protect. But at the same, she wasn't bad either. I don't want to seem like I'm sliding her off too much. She wasn't bad. It just kind of there. But I also like the fact it does become kind of like the Terminator thing, where just like Michael Biehn had to protect Sarah Connor from the Terminator, Arnold has to protect this girl from the devil. I mean, I kind of like that aspect. So it reminded me a little bit of Terminator, only, Arnold's the guy being chased and not the one doing the chasing. And I said, I do like that they went R-rated and you do have violent moments. I mentioned the punching through the head, and there's a bit where a priest, the devil takes it and gives his head a 180 spin. And that was done practical. That was done in camera. I appreciate that. And I didn't like I like that the director knew enough that even though it's a 2-hour running time, it didn't feel slow, because when it gets going, we're always going to get to another set piece. Whether again the rooftop chase scene, which many movies I do think of, where your hero's being carried by a helicopter where I was repelled to get to this guy, and when the guy's jumping, he grabs the guy. Or you did a firefight, or you did the bit with why am I blanking on it? The older woman where there's fire all around and she's trying to scratch him, and he's like, fuck you, slam her ass, her head right through. Or there's a bit with all the cult members in the rain. I like the way that was shot. I thought here the darkness actually worked. Now, I love the Relic, but I know there's certain scenes that seems a bit too dark in that, but I still love the Relic. Here I thought the darkness worked fine. And the places that are very dark, I thought it fit. Whether it be the cops looking through the priest's place, and whether it be when he's fighting people in the rain, because it made it feel a bit more real, because there wouldn't be a whole lot of light sources there anyway, and I was still able to see enough that I'm not, where's the night vision, that type of thing. So I thought, for me, it worked well enough in this. And even, there's a lot of cool little moments of badassery from Arnold. For example, people he knows, cops who are overtaken by the devil, including one of his, bosses, or there's someone named Marge, played by CCH Pounder, Marge, where he's being shot at. He's like, Marge, what the fuck? Easy with the hardware. I know that's not meant to be funny, but with Arnold's acting, sometimes those lines come out as funny. But I'm being sincere about it. I'm not making fun of him. But easy with the hardware. But I like that he goes out and he happens to have 2 pistols and two pistol bang bang. Which Arnold didn't get to do that a whole lot if you think about it. Well, I mean, that's like the 2 pistol bang bang. Just I'm trying to think. Well, I guess that's not true. That's not true. I mean, even Terminator, he had 2 guns and stuff, so. But that reminded me a little bit of John Woo thing, which I liked. Very brief, but I thought it was cool. I didn't mind the way it was edited. That's the type of fast cut editing I don't mind, because it seems like it heightens the experience and not detracts from it. And there's a lot of cool moments with Arnold, like that moment I mentioned. Like I said, if you're a fan of Arnold, there's plenty of moments that give you like a yeah moment if you love Arnold. idea, whether it be you slamming that bitch through the glass, or the two pistol bang bang, or, telling off the devil. But you go to hell. And then when the devil throws Arnold out the window, he's like, okay, I'll tell you, let me in. And then he cites the devil, fuck you, and pulls the devil out the window. And it's like, yeah, fuck him up, Arnold. And then the third act where he gets screwed over, he's put up as a crucifixion, Rod Steiger helps him down. Hours pass, he wakes up, and he goes and he loads up for battle. And you see him, I remember in the theater, grinning when it's like, oh, he's getting the guns, he's getting the machine gun. Oh, is that grenade launchers? All right. Like the Arnold of the 80s, All right. This is what I want to see. Now, there's a line where his boss goes, what are you doing? My job. But there's a TV spot where they show that scene, and it seems like what he actually said was, to save the world. I thought that was a better line, and I wish they kept that in the movie. That just fit better. Him saying, doing my job, just sounds very stale, very bland, but what are you doing? To save the world. I thought that worked better. It fit better with Arnie. And like you could tell, it sounded like ADR as well. Like, you could tell by the sound of it. So I don't know why they changed that, but they did. But the third act is a lot of fun. I mean, he goes in. Kevin Pollak was killed, but the devil let him live again, and there's a standoff. Kevin Pollak doesn't want to shoot his friend. The devil's an asshole, of course. Burns him alive. So Arnold's like, you motherfucker. Shoots the devil, and he's like shooting up the place. He's shooting him with grenade launchers. He gets things are blowing up everywhere. He shoots a whole wall. He gets in. They almost get killed by a subway car. They get on into it. They tell the guy to keep driving. Don't stop. They run over the devil. And then you get what... I remember watching this. The thing that kept popping up is they're in the subway car, and the devil will be at the top or the bottom with his hand. That always remind me of this game here. I swear it does. Resident Evil 2. I swear it does, because there's a scene... Damn, Sally's down the back here. Where either you're Leon and you're with Ada, or you were Claire and you're with the little girl. And you're in that kind of train car that's going to the Umbrella headquarters. And there's the claw going through the wall, or going through the wall and stuff, or the ceiling. Mostly the ceiling, and you have to shoot at it. Shoot at the arm. That's reminding me of here, which I loved. I'm like, did someone play Resident Evil 2? But I love that, and they're shooting at the arm, So that was cool. It was like seeing that in live action, and that one scene alone is better than Resident Evil Welcome to Raccoon City. I'll tell you that much. A fuckload better. And then, like, they go from one train car to the other, and the devil's trying to jump. He shoots the devil with a grenade launcher. The devil flies back, and it blows up the whole thing. With good model work of the train derailing and flipping. And so, people, oh, this film sucks. Bullshit, it sucks. Arnold shoots the devil with a fucking grenade launcher. How the hell do you hate a movie where Arnold shoots the devil with a damn grenade launcher? That's what we wanted. Well, I speak for myself. As an Arnold fan, as a fan of his movies, I wanted Arnold to shove a grenade launcher up the devil's ass, and that's pretty much what he did. And people still didn't go see it, and people still hated it. So it makes you go, then what the fuck did you want? I get mad about this because I see films, I go, why the hell did, that film make so much damn money? Like, I know it's a Marvel film, but Captain Marvel did not deserve to make $1 billion fucking dollars. I don't care. Well, it was right before the Avengers. So what? It's Captain Marvel. But that means, Beetlejuice. That film becomes a huge hundreds of millions of dollars hit. Really? Beetlejuice 2? So it's okay to have a film that wants to reference a pedo half the time with Jeffrey Jones and all this other crap. And always about as funny as crotch rot, but this film, becomes a bomb. That's what pisses me off, and that's why I was like, yep, you don't get it. You're right, I don't get it. I don't get it. I'm telling you I don't get it. You're right, I don't get it. I don't understand it. You're right, I don't. I don't. You're right, I don't. I don't get it. And then you get to the bit with the church. I like the idea that he knows he can't beat the devil with hardware, so he uses faith. The devil possesses him, he's able to fight it. Now, if I understand, there were two endings, or multiple endings. Now, I mentioned the bit where the devil comes out, but I like the build-up where the candles are lighting up and the windows are... Or, well, first the candles light up and then the seats collapse on each other. And then the windows... It's like the devil trying to fight its way into the church. That maybe when it's in Gabriel Byrne's body, it was able to get into the church easier, but now it's in its natural form. It's a lot harder to get into the church. So it was like all this way of him getting into it. So you see kind of the ratcheting up of all this stuff just ready to collapse onto Arnold until it erupts out of the floor. But yeah, I like that. How do I put it? Oh yeah, the endings. There was an ending where he lived and an ending where he died. Now, I don't know if it was test screening or whatever, where I guess they liked it better that he died. I guess because it's more of the heroic act, giving your life up for someone else, and then the idea, I like that they added where he sees his family. So yes, he's dying, but he sees his family, he's going to go to heaven, be with his family, which is what he wanted all along, and will be the happiest for him, so that's kind of his reward. So it makes him dying easier for the audience to swallow. As well as, I like that Robin Tunney goes up and kind of holds his hand and says, thank you. Like, it means something to her. Because you would be surprised, or you wouldn't be, well, how many movies, filmmakers would just ignore that. A person being appreciative of the sacrifice another character gave. Trust me, there's a lot more movies than you think that would not even pay attention to that. But that little moment where she takes his hand and says thank you, that was sweet. She's appreciative, she's sad that he's gone, she thanks him for what he did. That was nice to see. I thought that worked very well for the character. And I thought that was a nice way to end it, and I didn't want Arnold to die, but it did enough to make it easier for an audience like me to deal with. I'm like, okay. I would like to see the ending where he lived. Because you watch one of the trailers, you see when the bit where the devil is on fire or makes this fireball of his wingspan. There's a trailer where you see like Arnold here, and then I'm guessing Robin Tunney here. You see like two people here, looking, and I'm like, okay, that looks like that's from the other ending. Because when it happens, Arnold's by himself and he's on the ground lying down. He's giving his life. But here is like they're standing. I would love to see that ending. I'd love to see what that was. But we're never going to see it because people don't care about this movie except me. I think my friends, because Fabio, I think, likes the film. I know my friend Afri likes the film. I think my friend Mike OCP likes the film. I think Michael Keane, the choice voice, I think he likes the film. If he ever sees this and gets to this point, let me know, Michael, if you do like the film. I think he does. I think John the Zero Cool likes the film. So I know a lot of friends who like the film, so I'm not alone in that, but we seem to be the few. We seem to be the few, because I think this deserves more appreciation. I think this deserves a second chance. I think it deserves people looking at this and going, you know what, this is actually a pretty good, entertaining, kick-ass blockbuster with good action set pieces. Arnold doing something a bit different with still some great lines in it. Good cast with Gabriel Byrne and Rod Steiger and Kevin Pollak. Yes, once in a while there's a CG bit that's dated, but there's a lot of practical explosions and gun battles and stunt work. There's a couple bits of gore in it as well. I love this film. It again has a pretty good soundtrack. I remember having the CD of this back in the day. I don't have any of those CDs anymore, but yeah. And I talked for 41 minutes, but fuck it, it deserves it. This film deserves someone sticking up for it. But yeah, I love End of Days. Very underrated. Stallone. So that's in my mind is I just reviewed Lockup, which I think is a very underrated Stallone film, and now here I'm a very underrated Arnold film. So there you go. Thanks for watching. Take care. We'll see you guys later. Bye bye for now.